Hey there, welcome back to Super Pirate Bros. We're bringing to you another super awesome winning deck profile. This red Zoro deck of mine recently got first place at my locals, and it has also gotten plenty of second place and top four finishes as well. And if you enjoy playing a faster and rush down game style, then you're gonna love this one. These games don't take very long because it is the Rush Zoro deck. And yeah, let's just get right into it. The red leader, this card is just crazy. Obviously, you just put a single Dawn under him, everything gets 1,000 power right away. So yeah, that's what the deck's about. We're gonna start first with our level ones. You have 4 of your searching Namis. Obviously, you want 4 of these cards because this is what you want to see when you're shuffling. Because after you draw your first hand, if you don't see this, any one of them, you always want to mulligan because you prioritize seeing this over anything. And also for when you play, it is 1 for 2k power. So this guy's always going to have a Dawn most times, so it's going to be 3k power, meaning it can still beat over other weenies. If they're searching with a Bonnie or a Momo or Perona or an opponent that has the same deck as you, just remember to keep swinging into those weak characters because they don't survive very long on the board regardless. So you might as well swing at them early as soon as you can. So 4 of hers. And then we're going to play 2 of the other Nami. The other Nami has 1k power, but she has more better ability in certain situations. Where if you play her, she's just there. You can always give one of your vested down to any character. That always helps. It helps for other parts of the strategy. You can just give it to your leader if you don't want to waste one. So you play a character, then she's already there. You just give it to another guy. So 2 is good in my opinion because they do die very fast as well. So, they're just there to give power to the rest of them. Just 2 of them. We're gonna do 4 of Chopper. 4 of Chopper, that's very basic. You just want to have, your 4 blockers there. You always want to see like at least 1 or 2 or maybe 3 during the game. So just there to take a hit. And in my opinion, you want to use them up early. Against certain matchups like Kaido, for instance, you want to just block in the early state because they're not going to survive very long anyway. And against other decks that may rest your characters before you get a chance to activate them, like the green decks, they can usually rest your guys for you, and then they're just dead anyway. So just block as soon as you can, honestly. So for them, next up, we got 4 of Otama. Otama's crazy strong. She's the first 2k counter I'm going to showcase to you. And obviously, you always want to play her in together with... She pairs very well with other cards in the deck. You'll see soon. It's the Jet Pistol. Obviously, you'll want to put her with that because then you get to KO anything that's 8k or 7k. Just summon her, play her, and then boom, you get to KO anything for free pretty much. And many other parts of the strategy as well, just to KO over anything. If you're versing the Kid deck, when they put their 8-drop Kid, you use her. You only have to worry about hitting a 6k guy instead. So definitely 4 of. Next, I'm only playing 2 of Vivi. Vivi doesn't do anything special. She's just a 1k counter, but she applies pressure because she's just 2 costs for 4k power. With the Zoro, it'll be basically a 5k power, which means you can go right into the leader. Being that it's a Zoro rush deck, you get to rush into people and just keep on attacking, So she's always a threat and very cost effective because she's only costing 2. May bump her up to more. In fact, I might replace one card that I'm looking at right now, and that's my 1 Usopp card. This... You might want to replace it for another Vivi, honestly. But I play 1 of him because it's a 2k counter, so it's not that bad. If you don't want to use them, just use it to protect the character. But it's the effect is just you draw a card when your opponent activates event. Like if your opponent is in the late game and you're for sure that they have active Dawn and they're trying to activate an event, you can play this guy and at least take some advantage of it. And once again, 3k power with Zoro means it's 4k power, so it's just really strong regardless. So it'll put pressure right away. Next up, I have 3 of the Sanji with the 2k counter on him. This guy is crazy strong because sometimes your opponent aren't attacking your life because they want to stall you out and gain hand advantage or something. So this guy is the one that goes against that because you could play him and begin taking from your life pile if they're not attacking you. So sometimes you want to go into that. And he gains 2,000 power for that and then 2 rested Dawn, so he's all the way up to automatically 7,000. With Zoro, most likely he'll be at 8k. So 8k is already a big threat to be attacking. So they're very scared of just him being placed on the board. So 3 of him is okay. Next, I'm playing 2 of the rushing Sanji. this Zanji only gains rush if he's holding 2 Dawn. This is really strong because sometimes you have this Nami in play and then she's already being able to feed him one, so it's only 1. So you're thinking about it, a 3 cost, you know, and he gets strong too. He's at 4, basically the same as the rushing Zoro, looking at it that way. But yeah, Nami gives him Dawn, and then the next card right here that I play 4 of is this Brook that can also give him Dawn. If you play these 2 cards together, you play him, then you play the Brook. The Brook can give 2 of the Dawn that you just rested right to him. So there you go. It's not like you wasted anything. And then he already goes to 6k attack because it's rested Dawn on him, so he gains power. So 6k attack with the Zoro meaning 7. That's really powerful for just a rusher that costs 2. That's insane. So yeah, we're playing 2 of this. And then 4 of the Brook, because this guy always comes up. I find myself playing him more than countering with him, even though his counter is 2000, so that's still really good. But the fact that his effect can give you 2 Dawn to any of your characters or your leader, that comes in clutch more often than not. So 4 of him. Next, I'm playing 1 of this Luffy. I don't know what to call this kind of Luffy. It's a 3 cost, 3k power one. He's there mostly. I use him for the 2k counter. He might come out of the deck as well. But basically, he's a threat if he stays another turn because he'll gain 2000 power if he has 2 Dawns. So he'll already be for the cost of 2 Dawn. He'll go to 7000. With Zoro, it's AK. So then with that, that's just a threat to keep on the board. But again, I might take him out really soon. Maybe I'll put in an extra copy of Vivi again. But yeah, not the most important card in the deck. But yeah, that's just 1 of him. I'm playing 3 Robins. I might play 4 Robin in place for this Luffy I just mentioned earlier. But yeah, Robin is automatically a threat on the board. Everybody knows what she does. She's very scary just to have on the board because she makes it so that your opponent cannot play characters that are 3000 power less because she KOs them for absolutely free. And her, together with a character like Otama, you'll play Otama, you have Robin. So then you can just kill anything of 5k or less because you'll make a 5k into 3 and then it'll be basically KO-able with the Robin. So 3, maybe you want to play 4 and take out this Luffy. In fact, that's probably what I'm going to do soon enough. So yeah, there's her. And next we have the star of the show. It's the Rushing Zoro. He only got 1 of the alt art. Never bought it. I just opened it up in a winner's pack, so I'm happy with that. Anyways, the 3 cost 5k Zoro. This is the star of the show because he's has no effect other than rush. But 3k for 5 is ridiculous because you always have him, the leader. That makes him 5k. That makes him 6k, excuse me. So 4 of them, apply pressure all the time to your opponent. It's ridiculous. It's honestly the best card in the deck in my opinion. It's why the deck succeeds. So you always want to see 1 of him or search him with your Nami if that's what you see in your pile of 5. Next we're playing 2 of Uta. Uta's strong, 4 cost, 4 power. With him it's 5, so that's very powerful. And on play, she'll pick up anything that costs 3 or less, meaning your rush Zoros. That's pretty much what I always love to do. I play her after I've already used up on him. He dies, you just pick her up, use him, and use him that very same turn sometimes because you're in late game, you have 7 Dawn, boom, 7, 3. Very powerful combo. And anybody else that you might need, maybe you want a chopper in the late game or something, or an extra search with Nami as well. Pretty crazy. 2 is good enough. 1 of this Red Law. This one, he's really good because I think he's 5k power for 4 cost. That's already very strong, like base stats wise. And then he has the same power as Otama, just as a 4 cost 5k attack power. He just on play, give minus 2k to a character this turn. And that's more than good enough to take out anybody. Use them together with Robin or your Jet Pistol. Overall good card. Just 1. Maybe we'll put him up to 2 one day. Next up, we have 3 of the Rushing Luffy. Again, maybe you might want to put him at 4. This is another guy that's really good in the deck. Just as powerful as the Rushing Zoro, just a little bit stronger, a bit more costly because at 5. But same thing, he's at rushing. When attacking, your opponent can activate blockers if he's holding 2 Dawn. So that is very good, and together with the Nami that fetches you the rested Dawns. But this guy is pretty much the game finisher. You want to hold him in your hand as long as you can because this is what you use to go for game when they have a lot of blockers out there and they think you're not able to go through. This is what you use because with 2 Dawn, he'll already be at 8. With Zoro, he'll be at 9. So that's pretty ridiculous. And Yeah, another star of the show, the Luffy. Next up, I play just one copy of Shanks. Shanks is there for the late game. Again, he's a rusher, 9 cost for 10,000 power. He'll almost always stay on the board for a while, unless you're playing Kaido and they kill you, of course. But he also has it so that your opponent can activate blockers that have a power of 2,000 or less, which are the majority of blockers. So most of the time, he'll just attack whatever he wants. One is more than enough, honestly. Sometimes you don't need him because the rushing Luffy is, more than enough. I play next for the event cards. I play one of In 2 Years at the Saba Odi Archipelago. I don't know if I butchered the name of that, but this has an identical effect to the first one costing Nami over here. She essentially, well, this card does what she does. It searches a card. It's only there if you don't see her on your opening turn. Sometimes you get to see this, and this will fetch you your Nami. So again, it's one cost, costs basically nothing. So one is okay. It's a trigger, so if your opponent hits it off the life pile, you get to get whatever card in your deck that you want because 85% of your deck is Straw Hat characters, so very good. I play one of Guard Point. I've been thinking of playing more of this, and I don't think many people play it, but I think it's super good because, as most people know, the magic number to attack over things is plus 2,000 because you have 2,000 counters that you want your opponent to either waste or spend 2 cards. But Guard Point is just 1 active for a 3k power boost as a counter, which is kind of strong because your opponent usually just goes for 7k over a leader or just 2k over whatever character they're trying to kill because they're expecting you to have to drop 2 cards. But with him, you drop only 1 card and it's 3k power. So I think it's okay at 1. And its trigger gives one of your characters at 1,000. Most of the time it doesn't come up, so you might as well just add it to your hand, but it's there if you do need it. 1 Guard Point. Next, I play 1 Diable Jambe. This is the card that I will hold in my hand if I see it till the very end of the game when I'm trying to go through blockers and if I don't have the rushing Luffy. Because Luffy ignores blockers, but this card here lets it so that any character you want ignores blockers. So you can have it so that you're at late game, you have 10 Dawn, your opponent has 0 life, and they have blockers out there. You can just put all your Dawn under your leader except for 1, so you'd have 9. He'd be at 14,000. You play Diable Jambe, and then you have a 14,000 attack that's unblockable. So they have to have all those counters in their hand to possibly, try to defend themselves, which is very difficult. So I think 1, maybe 2 is what you'd want in your deck. But if I see the 1, I always hold it to the very end just to get past those pesky blockers for endgame. Just one of those. I'm playing 1 Red Hawk. This is what I might replace for another Diable Jambe, but it's also good. It just gives one of your characters 4k power, which is pretty powerful. You just need 2 active Dawn though, and it KOs another character your opponent has. It's 4,000 power less. It's more better like in mid-game state, to be honest, and the trigger is not that great, to be honest. It just lowers 10,000 power during the turn of a character, so it could come up, but I think just one of this is enough. If anything, if you're not a fan of the card, another Diable Jambe should do. Next, I play just 1 of Round Table. Round Table gives minus 10,000 power to the opponent's character, which is very strong because it gets over a lot of cards that you usually cannot defeat. This, in combination with Robin, is very deadly. In combination with the next card that I'm going to show you, the Jet Pistol, you'll basically defeat anything with this. You use this and a Russian character together, and you just beat over whatever it is that you want. But minus 10,000 power comes up against the Kaido matchups. People usually don't attack the Kaido characters, but with this, you actually can, and they're just gone. That's it. Anything, even your little weak Nami can go and attack it. You might want to attack with a chopper if you're in desperate situations, but this minus 10,000 power really is all you'll need. Just one of these is okay. The last card that I play, the 4th, is, of course, one of the best cards ever. I think it's the best event card out of all cards that are event cards. It's the Gum Gum Jet Pistol. KO one of your opponent's characters with 6,000 power or less. Comes up all the time. The trigger is insane. If you ever see it in your life pile, it's always wild because it'll almost always come up. You just get to KO something for free that's 6k power or less, which is the majority of all cards in the game. So yeah, this comes together with Otama. It works together with my Round Table, and yeah, just to get rid of any blocker in the late game. Yeah, it's overall one of the best cards in the game, And that's pretty much it. That's the whole deck profile. I hope I can fit it all on screen for you. Yep, and like I said, it's really fun. That's the profile. I hope you like it, and it inspires you to try the Red Zoro if you haven't already. It's super fun to play and can definitely top at your locals too. I don't know what others are saying about this game, but it's still new and there's no concrete established meta, so and almost all the decks can still win today, except for the very few bottom tier decks, of course. We'll talk about that in another video, but anyways, I hope you go out there, try your best and have fun. And thanks for watching. That's a profile. Have a good one.